30 touchdowns in 6 games? Holy smokes, man.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah. Fantasy football dream.
amazingly
Yeah,
hey,
we're
man,
playing Tecmo Bowl today. We're playing Tecmo Bowl. That's it.
Yeah, that's true. That, we're going for it on every down. Fourth down, whatever. Fourth down is our first down now, man. It's like,
that's right.
Let's go. Hello and welcome, Bolt fan. We are the Bolt Bros, podcast where we talk about the Los Angeles Chargers and the rest of the NFL. I'm Kyle, and I'm with my bros, James and Andrew. We got a lot to talk about today. Let's get into it. Bolt Bros, let's go!
Let's go! Bolt Bros!
All right, in today's episode, we'll be reviewing a little bit of what happened this past week. And the biggest thing that happened is that we got the schedule released.
Yeah, buddy. Let's go.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that'd be amazing. Yep. So we're gonna and truth is the Chargers schedule release video was absolute gold, guys. I don't know if you guys have seen it yet, but if you haven't, you got to check it out, man, because it is the French kiss. However, I will say, like, I'm not a huge anime fan myself, but there's a lot of references that I did recognize, and they really hit the nail on the head. And I think, actually, you guys want to watch it together?
Let's do it.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's definitely do it. Okay. And then after we watch that video, let's just kind of go into the schedule and and talk about it and break it down and figure it out. All right.
So, let's check it out.
Well, let's check it out. Okay.
Check it out. Sounds
check
like
it
it's what's or Steve Brule over here. Check it out.
Check it out.
Yeah, that's some spicy anime.
Bolt Bros.
Obviously, other teams did their own videos to show off their schedule and everything like that. But man, there was nothing that touched what the Chargers did. I mean, that was cool.
That was so.
And
cool.
I even saw some video game Facebook pages share it and everything too. And so people were like, "Wow, that was the most incredible thing ever!"
Oh yeah, dude. Well, because the anime crowd, they eat it up, dude. Yeah,
they love it.
It's not it's no joke, man. Like, they are anything anime, they'll go for it. Like, especially gamers and stuff too. So, yeah.
Oh yeah. One of the cool little things about that video is that a lot of people would think that the production would have been off-site, not in-house. And actually, the whole video was made in-house by Andrew Cordova, who actually works for the Chargers. He's a feature producer and editor for the Chargers, and so he was basically tasked to create this whole schedule release video and on all the animation and everything. So that's cool. Really cool. So shout out to Andrew.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
Not my brother,
man,
Andrew.
first and foremost. Yeah. I'm the cooler Andrew, but hey, this guy's kind of cool anyway.
Hey,
that's fine. Whatever.
Good work, bro. Hey, man, I didn't know he had it in you. Shoot,
man.
I didn't know you're a clean closet anime nerd here over here. Come on now.
Yeah. That's right, man. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Come on now.
It's all good, bro. Hey, you know what? We take all kinds of bros up in this podcast. So
let's give our predictions on the Chargers this season. All right, I'm gonna start out, and then we'll just do a real quick round robin. I'm thinking, guys, I think we're gonna go 17-0. That's what I think. I mean, I don't know. What do you think there, James?
20-0 because we got to win the Super Bowl. So.
Oh, that's true. That's what I'm saying.
So let's talk about that.
Hey, you can't be forgetting sleeping on the Super Bowl. Heck yeah. 20-0, guys.
Right.
That's it.
20-0.
That's it. See ya. Let's go. Bolt Bros out.
Bolt Bros, we done.
I guess that's it.
Yeah.
Deuces. We'll see you on the next one.
Chargers go, hit 'em high, hit 'em low. We are here to shout it, you are mighty men. There's no doubt about it, we will win again. So go, Chargers go. With each game, your fame will grow. Chargers, you're the best in the north and south, the east and west. Go, Chargers, go. On to victory. Go, Chargers, go!
just kidding, guys. We're actually going to give you guys our actual predictions. We're just messing with you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we gotta be a little bit more realistic here. We can't be home cooking all the time.
Of course.
Man,
but I mean, it would be dope if we went 20-0 though.
Man, that'd be so sick.
That'd be so rad.
That'd be so sick.
I mean, geez,
so
every
sick.
week just win. All we do is win.
We got the dubs in the house. We got the dubs in the house.
Oh, so good.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
All right, so
Cool.
let's go through the season. Let's go through it.
So let's go.
And we just want to go through one game at a time, and then give our prediction at the end here.
So week 1, we're the Raiders at home at SoFi. Ooh, I'm excited for this, dude. It's a freaking rematch.
Oh yeah.
We know everyone's going to be healthy for the game. Like, there's not going to be any problems. We've had a whole season to stew over this freaking game. Let's freaking go, dude. Yeah.
The crazy thing about that game is that I heard, based upon the schedule and everything, we're kind of like a prime time afternoon game too.
Yeah.
So I think it's going to be something broadcasted majority of America too. So it's going to be the upper echelon, like, base game for the afternoon. So once again, this is the redemption game. Now, once again, it's week 1 versus week 18, different situation and playoffs on the line, but starting out against the Raiders, what a great way to start the season.
Yeah.
I mean, it's amazing to see that happen.
Yeah.
So, we're all fully loaded with Herbie and fully loaded on the defense, dude. Electric fence is ready to rip.
Yeah.
That's right. It's going to be sick. Yeah, my prediction on this game is we take a W here, and I think we will because they got a brand new coaching staff, new defense, new offense. I just don't think they're going to come out playing hot. The nice thing is it's at home, and secondarily, I'm looking at I think our defense is going to be much improved. I don't think their defense is going to be much improved.
No.
I think our offense is going to be just as good as it was last year, if not better.
Yeah.
And I think we take the W here and get some redemption. I actually am really hoping for at least a 14-point blowout. Not blowout, but, in the NFL, that's a pretty good blowout. So I'm going to predict this as a W.
Yeah.
And I think I saw Vegas already had some lines of, like, betting and everything like that. I think it was. I think we're a 3-point favorite. I think team. Maybe it was a little bit higher than that, but
Let's put some money on that one.
Yeah, super early, but at the same side, that's what they're saying. So who knows? Who knows?
I like that.
Yeah,
I like that.
I can see that. Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely going to say it's a win for us as well this game. Because I mean, obviously, new coaching staff. And new system and stuff like that, obviously, Derek Carr hasn't played with Devontae Adams for a while, so I don't think that they're going to have as great a rhythm as they might like at that point. And the truth is, I mean, I'm looking at both of our lineups, and the Raiders offense. I mean, clearly Adams is their best person there. They got Derek Carr still under gun, but we got literally so many weapons. On our defense right now, we got Bosa and Mack on each side. Bosa's going against Colton Miller, so he's actually a really good left tackle. So obviously Bosa's out and him are going to have a good battle. But Mack is on that right side, so he can totally penetrate through and get into that. So I don't know, man. We'll see. I know, but when you look at our offensive side, I mean, Herbert, he's gonna have a huge chip on his shoulder, and he's out for blood. He's going to make things happen, and so, and their defense, I mean, it's pretty lackluster, guys. I mean, Max Crosby's their best player, and he's up against that right side. So we got to make sure that he's just completely blocked and completely shut out, and then we're golden on our offense. That's about it.
Yeah, and that's definitely the truth. I mean, even to say going back to the defensive line, I mean, the right side, Alex Leatherwood is the right tackle for the Raiders and was abysmal last year. And so he's going to be going up against Khalil Mack. Yeah. And so, there's just too much pressure that we got on our defensive line and then a back end of our defense that it's going to be very hard to compete. It's where are the gaps, basically.
Yeah.
So,
Exactly.
Going to be an interesting game to see, man.
It's gonna be a fun game to watch. And
Very fun game.
I will say this: I'm actually trying to sell my Chargers tickets.
Oh no! Don't do that! Don't. And you're going to sell them to a Raider fan? No.
For $1,500 a piece.
Yeah, there you go. Make that money.
So,
Make that money.
Hey, you know what? Any Raiders fans, you want my tickets? Fine. You know, you're going to pay for this season and the next season. So
you're going to pay up. You're going to pay up.
You're going to pay up, you know. So I'm trying to go to the game, but you know what? If someone wants to buy my tickets, they got to pay a pretty penny. So
that's not a bad idea, though.
Yeah.
Not a bad idea. You got to make some money.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But for the most, I'm going to go to most games as I can. I might have to work sometimes, you know, it's just the way things are. But hey, if one of them wants to go, I can get free football for the next 2 years.
Yeah, why not? Why not?
Jeez, yeah, right.
Kansas City. We knew about this one coming into it.
Yeah, it's gonna be sick. Thursday night football. Amazon.
The only downside is that obviously it's going to be a short week for it. But I'm
big
glad,
time.
4 days.
Yeah.
4 days later.
Yeah.
Wow.
But I'm glad it's early though, because that way, like, you know, we're still going to be kind of fresh, and you know, there're not going to be as many problems going into other games, you know, because like, I mean. Hey, well, actually, if this first game was a lot like our last game with the Raiders, I don't know, man. We may actually be a little like, oof, I'm a little worried about it, you know? So
a little hungover. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, no doubt.
I'll have a bottle of bleach on standby just in case, you know?
Just in case. Yeah, my prediction on that game is that we take a loss on that one because I think the short week and we're playing in Kansas City. So I think we're going to go 1-1. I'm not a fan of that, but I do think the Raiders game is going to be pretty intense, and then we're going to have to go short week. Look, it really favors the Chiefs, and I think that's probably the one. That's the one game that kind of bothers me on our schedule to some degree because I look at it and go, man, that's such a short time to that game, and you know, 2 intense games in a row is going to be tough. Now, I will say this: if we come out 2-0 on that, I think we could go. We could be like 8 or 9-0 pretty deep into the season. I'm feeling pretty good on the first half, but the second half is looking pretty tough. So, anyways, we'll talk more about that later. What are you guys' predictions?
Exactly, and we're playing 2 divisional games back to back in a short week going into the Chiefs game. I mean, we can't go deep, or we can't go deep into the season with the intention of trying to win the division or go to the playoffs if we're going to lose 2 games in a row. If we go 0-2, oh boy. That's going to be harsh for us at that point. I don't imagine that. We have way too much talent, and we cannot. I don't think we should underperform by any means. But this Chiefs game, I put it as a loss too.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. So I mean, once again, there is a side to look at the Chiefs' defense. That there are a lot of young players on that
guys.
side.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
they lost Tyreek Hill. You know. You know, they picked up a few players, a few wide receivers, but you can't replace Tyreek Hill. I mean, I don't know that I see them really being the same team. But you never know, right? I mean, they got some other weapons for the draft, and so we'll see. We'll see what happens. Now, what's your thoughts?
Yeah, so honestly, I'm putting this as a win for us. Because
so 2-0.
Yeah, so I'm saying it's 2-0 because you know the Chiefs they're away, and this is their home opener. They're going to Arizona first, and that's going to be a hard fought game for them as well. Because
in Arizona for sure.
Yeah, because Arizona, like, you know, they came out swinging last year, like they won like 10 games straight, and you know so. I think they can have a good rhythm, and I don't know if necessarily the Chiefs are going to be fully armed and operational. You know what I'm saying?
Little Star Wars reference for us right there.
Yeah, man. Hey, we can't say that too loud. You know, the Mouse House might kind of come at us. You know, so
that's right.
But yeah, and I'm looking at their defense. It's actually struggling. They are really struggling on their defensive line and their backfield. So we can actually have a really fun time with them. Man,
I hope we start 2-0 though. I hope that happens. And I will say this too, guys. We also don't know everyone else's predictions here. So I have my predictions. You guys have your own. We've all kind of we're comparing our notes right now in real time. So
I've not shared you nothing. I'm not peeking at nobody either.
Wow.
You know.
Sharing is caring, Kyle. That ain't cool, bro. I don't know what's going on here.
Hey, I'm sharing with you right now. How about that?
Yeah, you are, and everybody, the whole community, the whole community.
But yeah, and I was gonna say too, like, offensively, honestly, like, yeah, we know they don't have Tyreek Hill, but they've been pretty good without him in the past as well. Some of the few times that he's been out for a game, and really you can't count out Patrick Mahomes, man. He has potential every single game he plays
To win every game. Yeah.
yeah.
Yep.
But I feel like he's going to have so much pressure. He's going to be scrambling all the time to throw that ball. And I think, honestly, J.C. Jackson is going to pick up on how he does his thing, and he's going to get at least one interception this.
Ooh, all right.
So, it's gonna be a pick six.
Ooh,
Yeah.
jeez.
Oh, nice.
All right, I'll take
yeah.
it.
So,
And the thing is, though, this has a great chance to be a shootout.
Oh,
a
absolutely.
great chance to be a shootout.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, even to say with us, I mean, there's new players in our system, and the defensive side, our offense is pretty much stable from last year to now, and the defense has new players that have also been in the system, but the same side, there's a little bit of a learning curve to some of our players still too, and so it could be a shootout for sure. And I mean, with the Chiefs games, it's always unpredictable at some point, but we're kind of one of the very few teams in the division that actually give Chiefs a little bit of fits.
Yeah.
To be honest,
absolutely.
I think the Broncos haven't even beat them in like 8 years or something stupid like that.
8 seasons. Like they're like 16 or 0-16 or something like that.
Stupid.
Wow. But
stupid.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
This could be the year that they break it. I don't know. But,
for sure.
We'll see.
For sure.
Yeah, we'll see. Jacksonville Jaguars. It's at home.
Nice.
So. All right. There we go. The Jags.
My prediction on this one is we get a pretty easy win. I think this one is look. Don't get me wrong. I think they've added a lot. But again, new first year head coach. I don't think they're not going to have the continuity there. I just don't see them being at the caliber of as long as we come in there healthy, I think we'll be fine.
Right.
So I think this is a pretty easy W for us, in my opinion.
Yep, I agree. I mean, Doug Peterson's a good coach. I don't really, and I think he does a very good job of developing quarterbacks. I mean, Nick Foles was under him, Carson Wentz. You know, Carson Wentz did a good job when they went obviously to the Super Bowl, then got injured, and then he was on an MVP run at that point, but never was able to recover after that. But I think Doug Peterson's going to do a tremendous job to build up Trevor Lawrence, which I think, to be honest, in fantasy football advice, I'd probably stash Trevor Lawrence on the side if you could get him in the late rounds.
Sure.
That's one of those guys that I think you might want to just look at that has a high potential to be able to have a good season. So, and I mean, offensively, they picked up Christian Kirk for that ridiculously sized contract. That's more than Mike Williams.
Ridiculous. I was like, are you joking me? That was crazy.
I mean, unreal, man. And then you got your James Robinson, Travis
Etienne.
I can never say the dude's last name.
Yeah.
He got injured last season, so this is going to be his first season. But defensively, they still have a lot of new guys. They got the Trayvon Walker pickup, the Devin Lloyd pickup. I mean, that's really great additions with Josh Allen, who's a stud too. So they have a good core on the defense. It's still kind of new, different staff, different coach. It's going to take time to learn everything. So I definitely think we got to win on that one.
Yeah, I agree. Definitely win for me here. And however, I don't feel like it's going to be an extremely easy win. I think we're going to have a good spread on it though. Probably like 10 points or something like that though.
Right.
But I mean the biggest thing is though too is, like, I guess I'll just say this now and say it early, is that this is the NFL. We can win or lose in any game of the season.
For sure.
It's legitimately it's 50-50 every single time. So, and the truth is too is that, like, I can't stress it enough. The reason why the Patriots were so good in their dynasty is that they prepared for every week like they had to win, and they prepared like they were playing against professional teams every week, because the truth is every single team is they're professional. They're all paid players. They're all paid to train and do all these things. And so we cannot sleep on this game just because it's the Jags, and like they were the worst team in the NFL last year. And so I think we're going to have such a good running steam going into this game. I think it's going to be a win. Yeah. So our confidence is going to be high. But yeah, we're going to make it happen. At Houston.
Yep.
Versus the Texans.
That's a win. That's a win.
Yeah.
You know, I don't even think we need to talk about it.
Yeah, I think that one is going to be a pretty easy W. The thing is, I think that's a payback game. You know, we need to go show them what's up and just
100%.
dry hump them. You know what I mean? Just dry hump them. Just freaking slam these fools, dude.
Hey, man.
Hey, you freaking jerks. You know, hey, yeah, we're going to roll over them, dude. Give them a Cleveland steamer. You know, it's going to be sweet.
Yeah, dude. I mean,
Hey,
they basically gave the Texans that
It is a family show. This is a family show.
Hey, you know what? Hey, last
show.
time I checked, I did not put this is meant for kids. So that's one of the options for YouTube, and I do not check that box. You know,
Hey, do not check that box.
rated R. Yeah, full bros, rated R.
For radical.
Yeah, for radical, man. Yeah.
But I definitely think with the Texans, though, I mean, they beat us last year because of COVID. I mean, purely that's what it was.
For sure.
And I think we're way more prepared coming into the season depth-wise. And talent-wise, we're far superior than them. I mean, Lovie Smith's a good coach. And, you know, he's one of those good player-coach kind of guys. But there's just too much of an uphill battle for them. I mean, Texans, to me, are going to be probably one of those teams that's going to be picking in the top 3, at least, in the draft next year. So
Agreed.
Defensively, the Texans, they made some pretty decent moves. I mean, they still got pretty good edge rushers. They're not like fantastic by any means, but they're good. However, their backfield is pretty slacking. So, like I said, I think he's going to be able to pick them apart and really just kind of like spread them out, and they're going to have a really tough time. However, I think though this could be like the first game that we might see an injury here.
Hey, we don't talk about that.
Hey,
we don't talk about
no injury conversations. Dude. Come on now.
Hey, man, I'm just kind of keep it real. You know what I'm saying? I mean, like, hey,
no way.
No way. You know, it's some. Hey, you know, I'm just trying to be realistic, baby. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. So, but it's gonna be a win. We're gonna be able to move forward, and you know, we'll see this one coming up. Cleveland Browns at Cleveland as well. So
the dog pound,
doghouse. All right. What do you guys think? I'm saying a win for here as well.
Me too.
Yeah, because like the Browns have kind of like in this off season, they've kind of they kind of went off the rails. They basically gave up like everything, you know. So like, but they do got a new quarterback, you know, Deshaun Watson. Over there, so he's way better than Baker Mayfield, though. I'll say that much.
So they're paying him a crap ton of money, guaranteed, which is absolutely bananas to me. So I will say this about the Browns, right? Baker Mayfield obviously had some shoulder injuries last year, and they are a run first team. That will be a big test for us against our run, because that's what they did all last season against us, right? They just ran all over us, Chubb, everything. So I don't even Deshaun Watson might not even be the quarterback this next year, right? I don't even know if he'll be. He might not be playing.
Why is that?
Because
is it because of his offensive charge thing? I thought that got dropped.
Correct.
No.
Nope.
It's still floating around.
It's still floating around. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So he might not be their quarterback. So we don't need. So in my mind, like this one is like the biggest question mark. But I will say this: I think even if Deshaun Watson's out there, I think they have a better chance of winning. I'm betting that he won't be out there this season, or at least at this game. He'll probably still have maybe a 6 or 7 or 8 game suspension. So they'll be, you know. We'll be playing them early, and he won't be a factor. So that's why I'm betting as a W, because I think we're going to be very one-sided at that point. But you know, you never know how it shakes out, right? I mean, you know, the league is not they're frowning upon that stuff heavily. I mean, look at Trevor Bauer on the National League side, right? He's out for 2 years because of what happened.
Right.
So very interesting.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and that's the thing. That's where I come out with this game. If Deshaun Watson's playing, it could be kind of a toss-up game. But if he's not playing, Baker Mayfield is not going to be on the team for sure.
No, he's gone.
There's no way. he's going to be there. So it's probably going to be Jacoby Brissett playing, and then it's going to be just a run-based type game. I mean, I'm not saying that Jacoby can't throw the ball.
Right.
I mean, they have Amari Cooper over there, Donovan Peoples-Jones, Anthony Schwartz. They don't have that best of wide receivers, but they really never found a way to be able to get the Jarvis Landry that they had or the Odell Beckham. They don't have that guy. And
Correct.
I just think defensively they're very good. They're going to probably run the ball a ton on us, and that's going to be a great test for us.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because that was, we all know how terrible we were against the run last year.
Yeah.
We were horrible.
So,
horrible. Yeah.
I think if Deshaun Watson's playing, I mean, there's a chance it could be a toss-up, but I'm still going to get a W on this one. I mean, I can't imagine it's week 6. I'm expecting him potentially to have 8 week suspension, in my opinion. So half the season, or almost about half the season. So I'm getting a W on that one.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, I will say though, as my last thought here, I feel like, because their front line is actually pretty dang good. They have a pretty awesome front, 5. So that could be like the one thing that does give us kind of trouble defensively. But honestly, too, I'm excited for this game, really, even if Baker Mayfield's playing, because, as we all saw last year, that game was outstanding.
Amazing.
Insane.
Insanity.
Yeah.
Like, oh, man, I was so pissed that I couldn't make it because I had to work that day. So, oh,
bummer.
man, I was just, down and out all day there, so. But, I don't know, I guess I'm going to kind of go 50-50, or maybe more like a 2 out of 3 chance of a win. So I'm saying 67% chance that we'll win this game. So yeah.
Wow.
So I guess that's
very specific.
Yeah,
it's very specific.
So, yeah.
We're gonna get 67% of a win. How does it? We're gonna get a percentage win on that.
I'm just saying.
How's that work out?
Because of how crazy that last year's game was, I'm like, okay, I think we may have a little bit of a tough time with it. So,
Sure.
So I think it's going to be a win, but it's going to be a close game for me. Monday Night Football.
Yeah. Are you ready for some football?
Yeah. So that's versus the Broncos, and it's at home again. So all right, there you go. October 17th. All right, that's pretty good. So be the first time we're facing off against a new everything for the Broncos. So this I'm actually 50-50 on this one. So I don't know which way it's going to go. Sadly, I think this could be our first loss, however, before this bye, actually. Just because I don't know how, Russell's going to do, Russell Wilson. I don't know how well they're going to do. However, we did just see that looks like Jerry Jeudy is under some heat right now too.
For sure.
Right.
And so that could actually be, a factor as well. If he's not on the field, then he might not, might be a bad thing. But like I said, 50-50 for me. But I'm leaning towards loss game.
Yeah, I think we're gonna get a W here. It's gonna be real close, but I think we'll get a W. Again, new coaching staff, new quarterback, and a new system. New everything. Don't get me wrong. Russell Wilson, I think, is going to be good, and he's got a lot of weapons over there.
Sure.
But I don't know that their defense is going to be that great. It's a very new defense. They're trying to run Brandon Staley's. What was it like? Brandon Staley's linebacker coach or something became their defensive coordinator. Interesting little situation there. So they're really going to try and run Brandon Staley's defense. I don't think they have the personnel to really run Brandon Staley's defense. And so if I look at it from that perspective, I would say I think that we'll at least, if nothing else, make it a shootout. But I do think our defense is going to be good enough if we're healthy to stop Russell Wilson a little more, and so we get the W. So that's my take on it.
Cool.
Yeah, and I could see that too. I mean, I think I put this one as a loss, actually. Kind of the reason why I'm looking at that is, I guess I keep kind of going back and forth between the Browns and the Broncos game, but one of those two, I think it's kind of like it could be a loss in the next 4 block games, I should say. So, but I did put this one, I think, originally as a loss, just because kind of the reason why on this one is that I just feel like there's always a split with these guys. Yeah. And it tends to be at our house that we always end up losing to them. And so for whatever reason, I just put this as a loss for us. And they have a good team. And I personally, in my opinion, I feel like this division is going to be the Chargers or the Broncos division. And why I'm saying that is because I don't think the Raiders and Chiefs have that good of a defense. So they're going to have to play exhausting, long games to try to figure out how to score a lot of points with their terrible defense.
Yeah.
So I feel like Bonkos.
Bonkos, yeah, the Bonkos.
You mean the donkeys?
The donkeys.
The donkeys.
The asses. The asses. Eow.
But I just feel like the Broncos are just like the team where they're a little bit more complete as a team in comparison to the Raiders and Chiefs. So I did put this one as a loss. I mean, I hate losing on a Monday Night Football game, and I'm sure I'm going to hear it from my friends that are Broncos fans. And yeah, whatever, dude. It's week 6, dude. Come on, you got a lot of season ahead. So
yeah, exactly.
For sure.
You know, my last thoughts on it too is like, I mean, you bring up an interesting point, Andy, about how you don't think that they actually have what they need to run Staley's defense. And I'm actually looking at the Broncos' current defensive lineup as their mains. I think you're absolutely right. I mean, they got a really good free safety in Simmons, and then they got a really good linebacker in Jewell. And they got good like defensive end. But their pass rushing is pretty weak sauce, you know, and like, you know, and their strong safety is pretty as well. So they don't really have great pass coverage set up on their side. Offensively though, like, I mean, it looks like to me the Broncos are actually pretty solid on, like, they're just pretty much just above average all across the board on offensively. So I think, and obviously Wilson is just a stud. So that's why I agree with James. Like, I feel like this could potentially be our realistically first loss of this before the bye, first half. Moving on to week 7. And we're versus the Seahawks.
Chickens.
The Chickens, but it's a home game as well. So.
Yeah.
All right. So let's
my prediction on this one is this is a W for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think they're in a rebuilding year. They lost Russell Wilson, obviously. I mean, they're talking about Drew Lock starting. We're like, okay, fine. That guy sucks. So good. Let him start. And I got a buddy of mine who's a Seahawks fan, and he's like, I think I'm gonna be a Charger fan. I'm like, good, dude. We'll take you, bro. We'll take you
over, dude.
Come on over.
That is so Seahawk fanish though. Like,
oh, it totally is. No, but I just think they got too many problems, too many holes, too many gaps. They across the board. This is a W. This is a W.
Yeah,
sure.
So,
yeah. I think it's going to be a pretty sound, easy win for us, and. You know, even to look at their defense, I mean, they got Uchenna Nwosu over there, too. It'd be interesting to see how he plays in that defense now. I mean, you got Artie Burns, who gets burned all the time and has been floating around the NFL a lot.
Good name. Yeah. Oh, you get burned. Burns.
Mr. Burns.
And, you know, he just, he's just trying to live up to his name, the family name for a reason, right?
Yeah. And I mean, there's just not enough talent on that team, in my opinion. I mean, even to say there's even those rumors that DK Metcalf might even get like traded off too. I mean, it's just not enough talent. I mean, pound for pound, if you look at us versus them, I mean, it's just on paper, this should be a pretty simple win for us. So so definitely a win.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, I can definitely see a win here. But I think it's going to be a closer game than you guys are kind of thinking, perhaps. I mean,
the Charger way, that's the Charger way.
We always got to keep it close.
We got to keep it interesting, we got to keep those ratings up, Yeah.
For sure.
So the truth is too. Oh wait, is this a nighttime game?
No, it's 23rd.
Yeah.
Just afternoon game.
Afternoon game. Yeah. So, what I was gonna say is that, I mean, they got some of the best receivers in the league right now. They got Metcalf and Lockett. They're freaking studs. And so they're up there. But the biggest thing is though too, they got like a brand new left tackle and a brand new right tackle. So, Bosa and Mack are gonna have a great game.
They're gonna feast. Yeah, they're gonna feast.
Going to feast like mother effing beasts, bro. Yeah. So,
the one thing I will say too before we go on to we're going to go to the bye and then we'll do the Falcons. But one last thought on the Seahawks is that Look, the quarterback matters a lot. I think that's why Lockett and also Metcalf had good years.
That's a good point.
Again, if Drew Lock is the quarterback there, those guys aren't going to get the same amount of throws and touches, especially against our defense. So, it's kind of even goes back to the Raiders, right? I mean, you got Derek Carr throwing the ball to Devontae Adams, right? He's no, discount double check, dude. He's no Aaron Rodgers, right? So
that's right.
You know what I'm saying? He's just not. So, I think they have great wide receivers, but if they got a guy that can't throw on the ball, it doesn't matter.
Right.
So that's my take on it.
Amen to that. That's exactly where my head was at too. I mean, your quarterback's your receivers are only as good as your quarterback, and Drew Lock ain't that dude. I mean, we saw when he came in versus the Chargers last year in one of the games, and it was just like, oh my gosh, like the offense is stagnant, just terrible.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, I can't imagine he comes in here having this rejuvenated, Drew Lock that all of a sudden he's lighting it up, and I just can't see it happening. And they don't really have like that big of a run game behind them. I mean, they have Rashad Penny, who did pretty good late in the season, which tends to always be that way with the Seahawks for some reason, that they just decide to like play super late into the season, and then they're like, "Oh, you're going to be our starter from now on," and then he gets injured and blah blah blah. Yeah. You got Chris Carson there too, but it's just talent for talent. I don't think they could beat us, so I think it should be a win.
I think definitely win. So let's make it happen. So all right, we got a week bye. So cool. We
win the bye.
We win the bye.
We win on the bye.
For Halloween, we're on the bye, so we're good. So that'll be good.
298 frozen patties later.
Then we play against the Falcons at Georgia, and it's a 10 a.m. game. So, that's a pretty good one actually. So they just lost their quarterback. And they got Marcus Mariota now. He was the backup for the Raiders. Yeah,
we got Ritter. Ritter from the draft.
Desmond Ritter.
So I'm gonna say another win here. So.
Me too. I think the Falcons, part of the problem of the Falcons too is they've lost so many good players and integral pieces in their organization. It's a lot like, again, the Seahawks. Yeah. We can go down the list. The Browns,
right.
The Texans, right? They just don't again, what have we talked about forever is the depth matters, and the Falcons have no depth. They just don't have it.
Yeah.
It'll be a rebuild year. I think that's an easy win for us, even if it's there. So, yeah, I think that's definitely something that it's going to be a W.
Yeah, for sure.
And I'm going to say it's a W too. But the one thing too is it's tough for West Coast teams to go to East Coast and play early on.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the thing that's going to help us out on that is we're going from a bye week.
Yes.
To go out there. Now,
for sure.
That can go two ways. It could help or it could hurt you because maybe you settled a little bit for a week. But pound for pound, talent wise, I obviously we're much more far superior than them. The thing is, though, I do think that, Andy, I think their depth has gotten a little bit better. I mean, you got Cordero Patterson as a running back, even Tyler Algier's on their team too.
Yeah, he's a stud.
Yep. And then you got Drake London too. I mean, they really built out like a pretty good wide receiver core, and then Brian Edwards on the other side too. So, and then you got obviously Kyle Pitts, who's I think could easily be one of the top tight ends.
Yes.
And so, but once again, it comes to Marcus Mariota as your quarterback. Is he going to be a gunslinger? At this point, would he actually really be a good fit in that offense? Now, once again, he did play the Titans, and their head coach of the Falcons is from Titans. Was it Arthur? Oh, my God. Arthur Smith?
Yep.
He came from the Titans. He knows the system.
It's going to be run heavy. It's going to be run heavy. Yep.
Agreed.
It's going to be very, very run heavy. Yes. I just don't see them putting the ball in the quarterback's hands and saying, all right, go win us the game. I just don't see that happening.
Yeah,
of course.
So
I could see that season being a lot like Phillip Rivers, like really his first year with the Chargers, where he took the helm, where it was just just hand the ball off to LT, but then here's Patterson, coming. So they can have
LT.
LT. That's right, LT.
The baby blues throwbacks.
Right. And and the truth is too, like their defense, their two cornerbacks are fantastic. They got Casey Hayward Jr. And Terrell over there, AJ Terrell. So and they're pretty good. And I don't know exactly how well they're going to do against Williams and Allen, but it's going to be a pretty fun game to watch. And yeah, like I probably would go with maybe a 50% chance of the win, 50-50 again. But because like James was saying, it's like they're going east. It's a morning game. There might be a little bit of lag there, but I can see a win. Sunday Night Football versus the Niners. At San Francisco. So not a whole lot of travel there, so that's going to be a good thing for us. Obviously
for sure.
North for a little bit. I mean, they even take the bus. I don't know.
Ride the bus.
Ride the bus.
Ride the bus.
But yeah, I think this is going to be a good game. I'm gonna say might be a loss here for us, to be honest. Just because the Niners, they were a playoff team. I mean, they're probably not gonna have Garoppolo, and I think that's gonna be a good thing because I feel like he's had like multiple chances and clearly he's just not the guy anymore. He can't. He
got paid tons of money too.
Yeah,
tons of money.
He can't seal the deal when the game is on the line, like the big game as well, though. But when Trey Lance is in there, like he's going to be hungry, and he's going to be wanting to make a name for himself. And so I think the Niners are going to have a really good year next year. And so, for that reason, I think this is going to be a loss for us.
Yeah, I put it down as a loss as well too, and I don't really think it's because of Trey Lance. I thought the travel, the away bit, and then also. I think this is one of our lay egg type of games. I think this year. Again, I looked at it a lot like I just think the Niners have a very good defense. It'll be Bosa versus Bosa, which is pretty cool. It's a pretty cool little situation. But I just feel like this is one of those games we're just going to have a hangover. We're just going to somehow just flub it. And again, I still think we should probably win this game. I don't think Trey Lance. I still am not convinced Trey Lance is that good. I think he's okay. I don't think he's that great.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not proven himself at all, in my opinion. But having said that, they're obviously very high on him. So, but I'm still going to say it's a loss, and I think it's largely because I think their defense is going to step up and play well against us, and it's just going to be a really low-scoring game, and somehow special teams will flub it up, or we'll muff a punt or muff a late field goal or something and lose this game. It's kind of the way I view this one, but it's going to be close. It'll be very competitive, and that's my prediction.
Yeah. And I think we're all in the same mindset here. This is a loss in my opinion too. The thing is though, the difference maker on this is if Deebo Samuel actually gets traded.
It's a big thing.
If that's a really good point, that's going to shift this game in my opinion. To
a win. To a win, yes.
Yeah,
and so I agree with that. It was funny because I thought about that as well too. I should have put that down as a caveat because if Deebo Samuel's on the team, then I would definitely say this is a loss. But if he's not, then you're right. I think that's a very good point.
Yeah.
And this to me is like almost a toss-up game in my opinion. It could really go both ways. As just where we're sitting at a very early prediction.
Yeah.
I'll take this as a loss for us. I think, Andy, I think you hit it on the head. I think it's going to be a low-scoring game. I think it'll be a lot more tighter of a game than you think. I think it could be something that comes down to a late fumble, something to maybe we fumble, they get a touchdown to basically come up or go up on the game and win it. That's where I feel that this game could be at. So, but once again, Deebo Samuel's the asterisk to this whole situation. If he gets traded,
that's a good point. That's a really good point.
We'll win. We'll win. At that point,
I remember thinking about that, and I didn't write it down in my notes. So I'm glad you brought that up, James. So I'll give you that. I was like, oh man, good thought.
Yep, great thought. So
I mean, offensively, like they look pretty fantastic on paper right now. They have like one of the best left tackles. They have like George Kittle over there too. For Skittles, I
always want Skittles every time I hear his name. Skittles sound good to me right now. Tropical Skittles, them tropical ones.
Yep. And they've always had pretty decent of an offense.
Yeah.
And obviously, like it's going to be a pretty interesting game because like their defense is good, their offense is pretty good. We'll see how it is. Like, and we know they are a playoff team, so it's going to be a tough one. But yeah, we'll see what happens.
Yep.
Kansas City at home, 1:00 game.
Home.
Yeah.
Yep.
Versus Kansas City. Okay, so this will be the second time we face them.
Yep.
And just like kind of like last time, I think this is when they're finally going to have their rhythm again. And they're going to be able to know more about their system. Players are going to be more experienced. They're going to have like a rhythm again. I'm saying a shaky loss here again. So, I think we're going to go 0-2 for these two games right here.
Really? Against the Chiefs, huh?
Yeah.
The Chiefs are going to run it this year.
No. I think we're going to win the first one. So.
Oh, the first one got it.
Yeah. But you said lost the first one, but I'm saying win first one. So, but yeah, I think that's when they're going to have their stride and they're going to be a different team by this point. But they could be in a worse way too. I mean, someone could get injured. Like that's really important to them. So, but yeah, I'm kind of pessimistic about this game as well.
Sure. Yeah, and I put this down as a W. I think we're going to take this one at home, is what I think. Again, I think we're going to lose the one away in week 2, but then I think we take this one at home, so we split with the Chiefs this year. So that's my view on it, and I do think, though, we will be in a rhythm at that point. I think a lot of our our right side will be very solidified. I think we'll have everything very figured out at that point, and I think we'll be more prepared for this game specifically. So I'm putting it down as a W for us.
Sure. Cool.
Yeah. And that's probably where I'm at with that one too. I initially was kind of thinking about, because I mean, I know I put the first week or first game or game 2 that we're going to lose against the Chiefs, hoping that we could be 2-0 starting out the season. That would be fantastic.
Yeah,
we need that.
But really looking at this, like later in the season, I think that we'll be a lot more gelled as a team. I think that we'll be a lot more prepared for this game.
Got it.
So I'm actually putting this one as a dub for us too. So.
Nice.
I'll go with that one. So we'll split the series with the Chiefs.
Yep. That's where I'm at.
Yeah, that's where I'm at too. Splitting the series. Yeah, so that's not too bad then. There you go. Cool. We already really talked about what their lineups are and stuff like that, so we don't really need to go into it too much. But I think the home field advantage will help for us because we'll have 2 away games and then this one will be our home one. But then after this, of course, we have 2 more away games. Just a little sneak peek if you haven't looked at the schedule yet, y'all. So
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Week 12, November 27th. So it is the Thanksgiving weekend game. That's amazing. And it's against Arizona. So that'll be good. And it's a 1:00 game. So. At this point last year, the Cardinals were basically on their big losing streak. So that could happen again. And hey, they might actually have a rough season as well. Or coming into this whole season as well. Because isn't it true that Kyler Murray was not even coming to the voluntary practices at all? So he's just sat out on everything. It's kind of odd.
Yeah.
Really, the leader of the team is sitting out on it.
Right.
Yeah, he wants more money.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah, he wants more money. So to answer your question, Kyle, I think Kyler Murray is a poison pill. I'm not a fan of that guy.
Yes.
I think he is not a team player. He cares about himself.
Yeah.
Everything I've heard about him, he's just a selfish jerk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, my view is I just think that team implodes next year is what I think. That's my prediction.
Hey.
I think they absolutely implode. They'll probably eventually let go of the head coach, which is sad because I think why am I drawing a blank on his name all of a sudden?
He's definitely not the problem though. That's the thing. Yeah.
No, he's not the problem. But again, look, they got a franchise quarterback in Kyler Murray. You got to get him on board. And Cliff Kingsbury. There we go.
Yeah.
So my prediction is it's a W in Arizona. I just see the Cardinals just imploding and not having a great season. Kyler Murray's a jerk, man. Everything I've seen about that guy, he just seems like a jerk, And so I'm like, all right. I just think it's gonna bite them in the ass, and they're gonna have a really bad season next year. So that's my take.
Yeah,
that's a pretty bold prediction. I don't think a lot of people are thinking that, but everything you've seen about this guy, he is not a team player. So I just don't see it happening. So that's me.
Yeah, I'm pretty juiced about this game. I mean, me living in Arizona, I'm juiced to be able to go to this game and have a Chargers game in Arizona. So I'm stoked. And then, hey, if you guys are out here for Thanksgiving, you guys could go to the game too. It's that weekend. So
we're going to make it happen.
Let's make it happen. Let's make it happen. No,
let's do it.
Bolt Bro's going to be there. That's for sure.
Bolt Bro's going to be there.
Yeah,
let's
I'm
go.
I am so down. Yeah.
We're going to dry hump the Cardinals in Arizona. It's going to be sick, dude. Love it.
The weather's going to be nice too.
That's right.
The roof will be open there. It'll be a great game. But I honestly really think, Andy, you're probably hitting it spot on. I think this is going to be, they're going to implode as a team this year. With Kyler Murray, I've always said since he got drafted, I said, I think, to be honest, he wants to just play out a NFL first-round pick contract and then being like, well, I'll go back to baseball. So, like, I wouldn't be surprised if he did that.
Yep.
So I kind of think that that's what he's doing. He's like, man, I want to get paid because I'm going in my last year of my contract.
Sure.
If you're not going to pay me, I might just go back to baseball because I'll have a longer career in baseball anyways.
That's true.
So
it's a lot less physically demanding.
My head's at. And I think by this point, it's just going to be an implosion of the team. Cliff Kingsbury probably get fired.
Yeah.
DeAndre Hopkins will only be back after 2 games from this point. I don't think offensively, or at least somebody as a wide receiver really could be filling that gap that DeAndre Hopkins is going to leave.
Yeah.
Defensively, J.J. Watt's probably going to be injured by this time too.
Yeah, I mean he's up there in age, right? You know, he's like 11-year veteran or whatever like that. You know, so I mean that's it's a tough position, man. So like, I mean, you can't you can't be playing that one for so long. But he is still playing at a really elite level.
Oh,
so,
for sure.
He's fantastic. Yeah, he's fantastic. You cannot say anything. You know, again, they have the right tools, but you cannot have a poison pill in the quarterback position.
Absolutely.
I will say this. That's why I like Justin Herbert so much. He is such a team player, and he doesn't have an ego. He doesn't walk around acting like a little spoiled bitch, like a freaking, Kyler Murray, dude. He just seems that way. Like, remember baseball, Barry Bonds? Nobody would talk to Barry Bonds.
Yeah.
He always just sat in the dugout. He was over by himself.
Always by
he'd hit home
himself.
runs. Yep. But you can't build a team around that type of personality. You just can't do that. So they're in a tough position, and it will be very interesting to see what happens. So again, that's my prediction.
Yeah, I agree. Yep. So I don't think I gave my actual thing, but yeah, I say this is going to be a win as well. So
yeah. And the thing that's crazy about Kyler Murray and how he deleted his Instagram post because he didn't get his contract, I hear even after games, he basically just sits in his phone and just chats with his girlfriend. And it's just, there's something wrong with that guy and him trying to be a leader. He just cannot be a leader. He's poison to the locker room, in my opinion. And I think it was Larry Fitzgerald's dad was talking about it too. And I think that's right. Ultimately why Larry Fitzgerald did not come back to play with the Cardinals, because of Kyler Murray. So I just don't think it's going to be good by this time of by this time of the year. Yeah. I think they're going to have just a complete implosion at that point. So
I think my bold prediction is they may even let Cliff Kingsbury go at that point.
Oh wow! Yeah.
And they have a backup guy, another guy as their head coach at that point, stepping in. Yeah. I mean, I think it could be very ugly for the Cardinals next year. I just really do. But hey, we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
So, anyways, it's a W.
December 4th game. And it's a 1:00 game as well. So the
Roomba Stadium.
The Roomba
Stadium.
Yep.
The Roomba. It looks like a toilet bowl too.
It looks like a toilet bowl or a Roomba. One of the two.
Yeah. Put a little back to that thing. It looks like a toilet bowl.
I heard that they were going to attach a hotel right next to it in the back, and that was going to look like it was. So that was going to be like the backing, with so.
Oh, so bad.
Oh my gosh, that'd be amazing. That'd be so perfect.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I love that idea.
Yep. So this one for sure, I'm saying it's going to be a win. I think that the Raiders are also they're going to have kind of an implosion on their team at this point. I think they will kind of the division is going to be kind of tough for everyone. So they may still be in the running for at least a wild card at this point. So I think they will. Obviously, they are going to want to win, obviously, and we're going to want to win too. But like obviously, like we talked about earlier on, every one of these divisional games is going to be like a playoff game.
It's a playoff game.
It's a must-win situation. You know, like
100%.
All of our teams have been improved so much that you know, like this, it's going to be a fun game to watch. I'm not going to be there because I don't want to go ever to those stadiums. You know, like that.
Yeah, exactly right. Yeah, I do not want to be there.
Yeah. But yeah, it's going to be fun. I think it's going to be. I think it's going to be a pretty solid win, but not like a definitive win. You know, so yeah. I think we'll win by like a touchdown, maybe plus a field goal or something. So
I'm gonna go the opposite side on this. I'm gonna go with a loss on this one. I know you guys might be like, hey. Only reason why I say that is again, I gave us a win week 1 because I really think that the staff is brand new. They're gonna struggle.
Oh yeah.
Again, by the way, I do hope they implode, just like you suggested, Kyle, because I'd never want to see them win a single game, period. I mean, if that could be possible, I'd love to see that happen. Having said that, though, I do think at this point they'll be in their groove, and it's at home for Las Vegas, and I think this is another lay the egg like the 49ers type of game. We're just maybe eye off the prize, just didn't quite set up correctly, and we just didn't execute, and kind of so on and so forth, right? So, my prediction's a loss on this one.
Sure. All right.
You know, it's I just can't. I don't have the heart to say that we're going to lose to the Raiders, so I have to go with a win on this one.
Trust me, it's hard for me. I kept looking at it going, oh man, but then I thought, it's the end of the season. I hear you.
It's tough. I mean, this is when the playoffs start to become in focus, and I do think that this is a kind of a harder point of our season for us, where. I mean, we kind of stumbled a little bit last year around this time of the year, but I think that there's going to be a different mentality this year, especially against the Raiders. There's going to be a bitterness in our mouths from that game from last year. So I don't think we want to go back into Vegas and lose another one to them. So, and once again, I look at the Raiders, and I don't know why a lot of people say this, but they keep saying, "Oh, the Raiders are better, like one of the better teams in the AFC West," and they put us above the Chargers. I don't get that, man. Like
I don't get that at all either.
Right tackle
I agree.
bad.
I agree.
I don't think their quarterback's even a top 15. He's maybe a 15 guy.
Maybe 15. Yep, agreed.
Okay quarterback. They got a really good wide receiver core, Waller, Renfro, and Devontae Adams.
Yep.
But defensively, once again, they're just soft.
They're not good.
And again, I just don't think they're going to be able to match up to these offenses. And so Broncos, Chiefs, Chargers. So I just think they're going to get beat up.
Yeah.
And so I'm going with the W on this one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I like that. I mean, I waffled on this one quite a lot too. I mean, my big thing on this too was I just think we're going to have a little lull. It's going to be just a drop game. Yeah. We just didn't show up. We didn't somehow eye off the prize. But I would love to see that team implode. I would love to see Josh McDaniels implode like he did when he was his last head coach at the Browns, correct? Wasn't it the Browns?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Exactly. Yeah.
I would love to see that, but
that was great.
We'll see. I think.
Oh, that was the Broncos. The Broncos.
Oh,
when Broncos.
He was head coach, right? Yeah. I know it started with B. Yeah. Broncos. Yeah. Anyways, Kyle, what's your prediction for that game?
Against the Raiders?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's a win.
Oh, it's a win. Oh, it's a win.
Yeah.
It's a win.
No.
You can't say it's a loss.
Yeah. Yeah, I already said it was a win. Yeah, that's what I thought.
Okay, got it.
Yeah. I feel like it's just like Justin Herbert does not want to lose to the Raiders ever again. Yeah. And that's his whole that's our whole thing for this game for sure. Yeah.
How motivated is he going to be this year?
Yes.
How motivated is Justin Herbert going to be this year?
Super motivated. Yeah. Like
I
I'm
think
so
he's
excited.
an MVP level. He's going to be an MVP level, and he's going to probably. At this point, everybody's going to start saying it's him or like say Aaron Rodgers, which I still don't think Aaron Rodgers is going to have that opportunity, or Tom Brady.
Yeah.
So I feel like he's going to be in the top 3, and he'll have a really strong push.
Right.
Yep. Agreed.
Yeah. I mean, I think at this point they're going to be comparing Justin Herbert to Patrick Mahomes in his early season when he was on a Super Bowl run. Justin Herbert's going to go Super Saiyan and just freaking lock this thing down. So I think it's going to be phenomenal to see him play this year. So I am so freaking jacked to see this stuff so bad. Yeah,
couldn't be more excited.
Yeah. Week 14, December 11th. It's against the Dolphins at home.
Dolphins at home.
I am really excited about that, of course, because we got the Justin Herbert versus Tua thing again. Because hey, there was always that conversation of who was better, like and who we were going to pick up between Herbert and Tua. And obviously, I'm already 100% solidified that we made the right choice. The 100,000%.
Oh yeah.
Well, no. The Dolphins made the wrong choice. They should have picked Herbert because they picked first.
Yeah, they picked before us for sure. Yeah. So so it'll be and the Dolphins they made some good moves though too. They picked up Tyreek Hill.
Tyreek Hill big.
And it's a big thing. And Tua, that might help out Tua a lot because they have like a solid receiver who's always going to be able to get open because dude's fast and he breaks ankles left and right. So that's going to be a huge advantage to them. However, like I think, man, just J.C. Jackson's going to have an amazing game this one. So and Bosa's going to just and Mack are just going to penetrate like left and right. It's going to be it's going to be a win for me as well on this game, and I feel like it's going to be a home game, so we'll be more rested. So yeah, it's gonna happen, man. So there it is.
Yeah. My predictions is that a W as well too. I don't think. Again, Tua, I'm not really convinced on him at all. I think a new coaching staff across the board again. But they'll probably be playing well. I think it'll be a competitive game, but I do think the Chargers pull out a W here. I don't feel like the Dolphins are where they need to be. And I don't think they have the depth from what I can tell. Mm-hmm. But they did have a good draft. I will say this. They did pick up some nice depth. But again, they're going to be out there with a lot of rookies. I just don't see them really gelling enough to beat the Chargers at home in LA. I think we walk away with a W, win by maybe 10 points, something like that. But I think it'll be competitive, be contested, but I think we come away with a W.
Yep.
I don't know if you guys saw that video of how they were hyping up Tua and they were saying, oh, this is what he was a year ago. And it was like all these slant passes. And then this is what he's at today. And he's like throwing a deep ball or whatnot to Tyreek Hill. And it was a clearly underthrown deep ball.
Big time.
So, what Kyle was saying about the J.C. Jackson thing, like this is where I think picks are going to happen. And I think sack fumbles are going to happen. I think they have a very good team in the sense of like Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle. I think their defense is okay, not great. Their head coach, Mike McDaniel, is the funniest dude in the NFL. That guy is hilarious.
He's pretty hilarious. He's pretty funny.
Funny guy from the Niners. Definitely an offensive genius kind of guy. But I just don't think he's going to have enough to be able to really get his offense really going. And I think that they're going to falter a bit. And the AFC East is a little bit of a tough division too. I think they're a good team, but I mean, they're going to go with the Bills, the Pats, the Jets. I mean, it's kind of a tough division in a sense. And I think Mike McDaniel's going to struggle his first year. I don't think they're going to do well. And to be honest, I think Tyreek Hill's going to have a conniption over there too.
He may turn into a crybaby over there as well too.
Early prediction, I'm saying we get a W on this one, and we beat them pretty soundly for sure.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I could really see that, like Tyreek Hill, like kind of having kind of a fit by this point where he's just like, dude, I'm not getting what I got from freaking Patrick Mahomes out of here. Like at this point, it's just like his mind is not even going to be in it anymore. So I can see that. Really.
He'll do a Antonio Brown and run off the field. See you, deuces. Like, that'd be so hilarious. Like, what again? Hilarious.
He's gonna do a Forrest Gump. Actually, he's gonna get the ball and just run straight into the locker room. That'd be funny.
Yeah, you're like a Cartman. Screw you guys. I'm going home.
Yeah, right. Oh, jeez.
I love it. I think definitely a W on that one.
All right, moving on to Week 15, we got Tennessee Titans.
At home.
December 18 at home as well. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's gonna be helpful. Coming off of the Dolphins. Now the biggest thing with them is that the Titans were one of the best teams in the AFC last year, and like they went pretty dang far. So this will be a pretty tough one, I think. They got some really good defensive players over there. Like they got Biard and Hooker for like their safeties, and they can totally run that that Staley defense really well over there because of that, because they got that too high safety system. But I don't know. It's gonna be. I think honestly, this is gonna be our toughest game in this back half. I think coming. Well, maybe not the toughest, but one of the toughest. I'm actually leaning towards loss, but I want to say win. I don't know. Like maybe if after I get your guys' thoughts, I'll actually make a decision. So what do you think, James? Yeah.
There you go. So last year Titans were the number 1 seed in the AFC, and then they ended up losing in the playoffs.
Right.
Yep.
And they didn't have Derrick Henry for pretty much a majority of the season. Now he'll be back and healthy, and we all know how he is. He's a phenomenal back.
Yep.
Absolutely.
The thing about them, Ryan Tannehill's a good quarterback. He's won me a fantasy championship before, kind of a couple seasons ago, and he's a good quarterback. I'm not saying great, but Derrick Henry's really the big guy on that team that makes that team work.
For sure.
Now, with their wide receivers, they got Robert Woods and Treylon Burks and Des Fitzpatrick. The thing, the article came up about Treylon Burks in the rookie minicamp that just happened. He couldn't even get through the practice because the heat got to him. So,
oh geez,
oh my gosh,
that sucks. So for them, but I mean, mind you, this is not the season; it's just an off-season training program. So I don't know. That's kind of a sad thing to see, but I have a really hard time with this game thinking we're going to win for some reason, and I think the Titans are going to find a way to beat us up, and we're going to get. I honestly feel this might be a game where we're just going to get beat up, and we're going to be like kind of unsure of what's happening here. Like it's going to be kind of one of those games we just falter and just don't show up. And I guess I'm kind of thinking, like kind of what last year with the Texans game. It was kind of around the same time of the year, and for some reason we just didn't show up. And I think this is we don't show up game kind of thing. So I think we lose that game.
Yeah, my prediction's a loss as well too. Who was the rookie they picked up? Didn't they get Malik Willis? Didn't they get Malik from the draft? Yeah, and so obviously Tannehill will probably start. I think Malik Willis. There'll probably be some conversations about having him come in, so on and so forth. He probably won't be the guy. I think Tannehill will be the dude. But it will be interesting to see. I mean, who knows by this time? This season, depending on how the season goes. I mean, what if Chris Henry's hurt? And he can't even go at that point, and they just start laying a bunch of eggs all over the place, right? Maybe they say, well, let's put the rookie in there, see what he can do. I would say this. I still think it's a loss. I just feel like the Titans have such a good offensive line. I think they're very good defensively. Sure. They're just a good team. They're a good overall team, right? And again, we talk about depth overall. They're really good overall depth, across the board. So So I'm going to give this one a loss at home. It's our first home loss, and so it'll be interesting to see. I'm thinking a loss is what I think. So
yeah, and that's really one of those flip-flop games, in my opinion. That's one of those games that you're just like, I don't know, but for some reason I get a feeling that we are just not going to show up. And I don't. We always do that. Chargers like to do that.
That's when
again last year,
the LA Chokers show up, not the Chargers.
Exactly right. Well, and think about it. Like this time last year, weren't we in the number 1 position in the AFC West right around this time, and then we lost a number of games, and then we didn't even make the stupid playoffs, right? So again, we need to finish and come on strong. I just feel like this is one of those games we just kind of lose. But yeah, I think it's a loss for sure.
Okay. Well, with all that stuff back in here, like, and I was flip flopping whatever, I'm just gonna say a win because you guys both said losses. So
oh, there we go. There we go.
I was gonna say this too. Like, this is gonna be a great game for a running game. Eckler and Spiller are gonna have a field day on this game. I think because the Titans have a good defense, but it's more of a pass coverage defense. their front line and their corners and their linebackers just are like, yeah, they're average. So, so I think we're gonna get really maybe both running backs get 200 100 and 100 yards or something. So if they split each get like about 15 carries, that would be fantastic. But that's where I think we're gonna dominate. Well, not dominate, but it's gonna be a tough as hell win for sure. Monday night football game against the Colts. There you go. So that's our second Monday night game. That's gonna be amazing. So it's at Indiana. They have a dome, right, for their stadium. So,
yep.
Okay.
Correct.
So it is controlled.
Lucas Oil.
Yeah, that's good. So that way, like, you're not going to be like out in the freezing air and stuff like that. So that you know what? The Colts, man, this is gonna be another freaking tough game. Like, they made some killer moves in this off season. I feel like getting what's his name, Matt
Ryan.
Matt Ryan, yeah. It's like and he's gonna really like help bring it on with them. And honestly, I always love watching the Colts games. I don't know what it is, but the Chargers Colts games have like a really good or fun history of those games, and man, they got the best running back in the league over there. So and like we said before, our run game defense was pretty lacking last year, but I think we filled a lot of holes. So hopefully that's not going to be a problem so much. But man, like, they made a whole lot of stuff happen for them, both offensively and defensively. It's going to be a tough one. Again, I can't really make my predictions to this one. I just want to toss it to maybe Andy first. You want to go, and let's see how we fare at the end of this.
Yeah, we win this one, no problem. I don't think Matt Ryan is. Yeah, I don't even think it's a close game.
No,
I think we just destroy him. Yeah, I don't think it's gonna be close at all. Matt Ryan, he's never done it. He's not a competitor. He's not a winner.
Wow.
And I don't think anything changes since he's at the Colts. That's my prediction.
All
right.
And Matt Ryan's a statue. He's an old school quarterback, and if our rush could get to it, if Bosa's there, Khalil Mack's there, Sebastian Joseph Day, I mean, there could be just a mutiny at the front of the line. And the thing about it is like, they don't really have a true wide receiver there other than Michael Pittman Jr. They got Alec Pierce from Cincinnati, Paris Campbell. They don't really have the guy there. Tight end Ali Cox. I mean, he's okay. It's really like the Jonathan Taylor show. And defensively, they're very good. And I really like their defense. And even the defensive coordinator, who is now the Bears head coach, Matt Eberflus, is gone. So why I'm saying X factor on that, and why I'm talking about defense, because who's the defensive coordinator at the Colts now?
Oh, yeah, he's a wing nut. He's a wing nut.
Gosh.
Yeah.
Oh,
Gus Bradley.
Gus Bradley. That's true.
So how's that clown keep getting higher, dude? I don't even understand.
I have no idea.
I don't get it.
I think he knows how big it is. That's why.
Yeah, he's probably got dirt on the commissioner or something like that. So he's like, hey, man, you don't want me to release these photos, bro. You know what I'm saying? You don't want me to release these photos. You better give me a job somewhere quick.
That's right.
Yeah, I mean, I just think, once again, Gus Bradley, I mean, he was lucky that they ended up winning that Raiders game last year against us, because I mean, there was so many soft coverages going on in there. And once again, I look at it as a redemption game that we're just going to just beat them down. Now, they have a good defense there, but I just think offensively we're going to be way better for this game. So I put this as a W.
Cool. Yeah. Cool. All right. Well, I guess I'm going to confirm it and go opposite of you guys again, and I'm going to go L.
Oh, dang. Oh, goodness.
But, not just for the sake of being controversial or whatever, but like I said, I stand by my thoughts, and I think this is going to be a tough game. Because I think the Colts are going to do fairly well. And because let's be honest, their division sucks, and hardly any of them, they're not championship teams so much. I think they, as a whole, they only have like 3 championship wins in that entire division. So But I think this is going to be a better year for them, and Matt Ryan is going to really bring the best out of these receivers, and so I think that we're gonna have a tough time there. It's not going to be an easy win for them, mind you, but it's going to be like a true to form Chargers. A couple, like maybe a field goal or like like a missed extra point or whatever is going to be the difference of the game.
Sure.
So. Versus the Rams Sunday Night Football game.
Let's back to back premier games.
Yeah, exactly. That's pretty tight. I'm down for that because I think the NFL for that reason, I think they're predicting that we are going to be like in the hot seat, coming into this game. And I think
not for the wrong reason though.
Not for the wrong reason, but like we're like the hot ticket. You know what I'm saying? Like so, I'm saying we're
sure.
We're like we're gonna honestly from what our predictions are, like we're a freaking top class team this year. So, but so obviously the Rams, you can never count them out. Not anymore. Not with Sean McVay. Not with the way that their system's going. They are. I don't know how they do it. How they just like somehow manage to find all these amazing players and just pay for all these veterans every single year. Like obviously they're going pass heavy. Like their running backs scheme is not very good, but Stafford's amazing. Well, let's be real. Stafford is not the best quarterback in the league. And he hasn't been for a really long time, but he now has a system where he can actually produce a lot better numbers than he ever did, and he ever dreamed that he could at the Lions. And so it's gonna be a tough game, I feel like, and it's gonna be really annoying because of all these dang Rams fans, chanting that "whose house" thing. And
But this is a home game for us,
right? But they're still gonna be chanting it. It doesn't. Of
course,
it's just not gonna be announced on the thing. So.
Right.
Yeah. So, and they're just gonna be annoying. I'm gonna be there, and I'm gonna be annoying back at them. Of course. So, yeah. So I don't know. I'm gonna say a shaky win though for me. But I'm gonna say shaky because I'm hoping at this point that we might be in the lock for everything, and that we might want to. We might be just kind of like loosey goosey with everything as much as possible. So. For our playoff berth, but I want to say that we're going to win this one, and I think we want to win because it's going to be a statement to LA, that, like, it's like, okay, yes, this is technically your house because your owner basically bought it or whatever, but it's a duplex, bros. Let's make this happen. You got to share the space with us. They hate us because they ain't us. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, yeah.
I like that.
Yeah. But let's pass it on to James though. Okay. What are your thoughts on this game?
So, the Rams are Rams, and then they got a good team. They got Cooper Kupp over there, obviously Van Jefferson. You got your Tyler Higbee. You got a good defense still. The addition of Allen Robinson, I think, is a very underappreciated addition to that team. Allen Robinson was a guy that I was kind of hoping that the Chargers would go after.
Yeah.
I like him as a receiver, and I think he's going to flourish extremely well with Matthew Stafford. I mean, Allen Robinson had over 100-something catches with Mitch Trubisky as his quarterback with the Bears. Yep. And so he's a very good receiver. And so adding the defense, I mean, we're essentially running the same defense as a Staley.
Yep.
It's going to be a tough game. So I actually put this one as a loss. The one thing that I wanted to be able to have on this, and once again, there's a flip-flop kind of games with these last 5 games basically into the season, that this could be one of those flip-flop games. But if Herbert is killing it throughout the season and having this MVP conversation, this would be the clincher game if he finds a way to win this game in a very dramatic way.
Yes.
Or just beats them down.
Yes.
That would solidify him for as an MVP.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, but unfortunately, I'm saying it's a loss at the moment. I mean, early prediction. I would love to beat the Rams, once again, but I think it's early prediction. I'm going to say this is a loss for us.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm going to go against what you guys are saying. This is a win. We take home the W.
All right.
I think I think we got a chip on our shoulders on this game. I think this game we show up and again I think Brandon Staley wants to get the win too, right? Because he installed his defense there. They're running his defense, his playbook, and I think he's going to have some tricks up his sleeve. And I think we get the W. It's weird. I have a hard time really respecting the Rams for some reason. I don't know why. For some reason I always sit back and go, I don't think they're that good. It's not that they're not good. I think they do enough to win every time.
Sure.
But I do think that at this point, I think the Chargers will be pretty well locked into a position.
Right.
You're right. I think it's a respect game at this point, and it's just going to be – and I think it's really going to boil down to – and again, we can't predict injuries, right? It's going to boil down to injuries. It's going to boil down to where the Rams are sitting in the playoffs, where the Chargers are sitting in the playoffs contention spot. Mm-hmm. But – I'm going to still say this is a W because I do think the Chargers want to come out and make a statement and show LA, hey, look, there's another team here. You need to pay attention. And so that's my view on that one. And, so I'm going to predict a W.
All right, so moving on to the last game of the season. It's either going to be January 7th or January 8th. And it's going to be against Denver Broncos at Denver. So like the time is going to matter. Debate on that one. So wait. What is 7th or 8th? Is that either? Look at the calendar.
Yeah, it's either they're going to do a Saturday or a Sunday game.
I think it'll be a playoff contention conversation, right? Where we sit as far as playoffs are concerned. So much like we did with the Raiders last year. I
feel like it really just depends on where we're at with the division. Where we're at with this the full season. I think we could kind of flounder around on this game a little bit. If we're like basically locked in for like maybe the first or second seed, I think we might kind of decide, do we really want to play? Because if we're in second seed for sure, they'll probably rest. They'll probably put our backups in there. And then but if we're in the first seed, I think we'll probably play to win because we don't want to have 2 weeks off essentially, because then we'll go into that first game after our bye week cold, and I don't want to see that, and that's the big that's exactly what happened to the Titans. Like they went into that first week of the playoffs cold, and they just got demolished. So so I mean that's kind of where I'm at. I want to say let's just make it a win because it's a divisional game, just to as another statement. But I think biggest thing is like where we are with the playoffs makes the difference, and we just got to think logistically for this game. So I'll pass it off to Andy this time first.
Yeah, my prediction's a loss because I think we're going to be we're going to have our scrubs in there. I think we'll have a playoff position set, and I think we'll throw a bunch of scrubs out there. Again, and I'll tell you what my final prediction is at the end. You probably figured it out if you're taking a tally at this point. But again, I just think the Chargers are going to be locked in at this point. Yeah. We had played the Rams. Again, I predicted a win there. And I think bottom line at this point, hey, look, we're in a playoff position. Let's just go. So I could see us putting some scrubs out there and just really just sort of making it a scrimmage game and a rest game for most of our starters. That's how I see it. So I think it's a loss.
And going into week 18, I mean, and the thing is though with this, how it's on a flex either Saturday or Sunday game. I think if this becomes a very critical game, it's going to end up being a Sunday night game that's going to get flexed in, just like what they did with the Chargers game last year.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I look at this game and I think, man, at this time, I hope we don't have any more Charger heart attacks going into a last game of the season that we have to win or go home kind of thing, which would be absolutely frustrating to see that. But at this point, I do think that the Chargers are going to be in a good position, and I think that we will be in a position. I do still think we will win this game because I think that it's going to be based upon seeding at this point. So, if, for instance, if we're in the lead for the AFC West, I mean, whoever wins this game, because I predict that the Broncos and the Chargers will be the top two teams, and that's probably a lot of people will not feel very They will like that, but I just don't think the Chiefs really are. They will be running for the playoffs. I don't know if this is the year they're going to win the division. So
all right.
I'm looking at the Broncos and the Chargers having kind of that. This could potentially be for the division kind of game. Both in the playoffs, but this could be that division game. But I feel the Chargers are going to not let the last game of the season go again. So I'm saying they're winning for sure.
Bull Bros.
It's gonna be a wild ride, a wild season. I feel like
it is.
I'm really excited, especially for the first half, because like I think we all kind of predicted like a 7-1 going into the bye.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that'll be fantastic, and then the second half is definitely going to be the shaky half because like they're, hey, you guys said not to talk about it, but injuries are going to happen.
Yep.
And we don't know who's going to go down, and hopefully, but yeah, I think, like you said, I think we're going to come out on top here in the division. We've filled up all the holes that we needed to. Our defense is completely flipped like it was last year. We're easily going to have like maybe definitely a top 10 defense this year, and yeah, and I just didn't see that happening with the Raiders. The Chiefs didn't do a whole lot there. The Broncos technically didn't really do a whole lot either. I mean, they gave up a lot just to get the quarterback. So, I mean, this is going to be a great year for us to go. And I think I actually predicted a 4-2 in the division for me. But it's like kind of a shaky one. It could be 5-1. It could be 4-2 is where I'm going. But then it's like, if you're keeping tally with me, my overall season score was 12-5 or 13-4. Those are my two predictions. So in that range.
My prediction was 12-5 as well, Kyle.
Nice.
So I think, and I think also like the last loss to the Broncos was really just kind of a throwaway game. We didn't need it, so I think we'll be solidified at that point, and we'll put some scrubs out there, but we get the loss anyways. So 12-5, we end up first or second seed, and then we get into the playoffs and a Super Bowl win. That's my prediction.
Ooh,
hey,
let's go. Yeah, I put ourselves at 12-5.
Wow.
And Vegas tells us that we're only 10-win team. So, but even to say that with a 10-win team, the Raiders got into the playoffs. Patriots got in the playoffs at 10. So, and actually the Steelers got in at 9-7-1. So
yeah, which is ridiculous.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Yeah. So,
but I definitely feel that we're going to be like a 12-5 team. I think we'll beat what Vegas is saying about us. So, and once again, there's some flip-flop games there too, though, so it could go both ways. So, I mean, I guess I'm kind of giving a little cushion to where at least we'll get a minimum of 10. My hopes is that we'll go to 12-5.
Cool. Yeah, I think we're all in agreement about that, basically about that range.
Yeah.
So that's great. That's awesome to see.
Wow. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah. What do you guys think? Let us know what you guys think down in the comments below. We love chatting with you guys. We're always in the comments, the Bolt Bros and us individually as well. Whenever we get a chance, we try to respond to you guys. And we'd like to see what you guys say. And, I will say this though, too, once the week gets closer, we'll have an even deeper breakdown of all these games, and how things are faring, obviously. We'll chat more about it in full detail, but, I think this is a really good thing. I mean, obviously, we love the Chargers schedule announcement. That was fantastic. There's a lot of burns up in there as well. Making fun of the Seahawks, making fun of the Fire, and obviously the Raiders being a little ship in a bottle in the dumpster fire. So it's gonna be a really good season, guys. But yeah, like always, thank you for watching. Comment, like, and subscribe if you're watching us on YouTube, and if you're watching us on podcast, give us a rate and review. We'll love to hear from you. And hey, you know what? I was gonna say this too: is if you're listening on the podcast, shoot us an email at boltbrospodcast@gmail.com. if you have any questions. I know we don't want to leave you guys out as well because we're always in the chat with people on YouTube, but I know we don't really get a chance to talk to you guys that are in the podcast space so much. So yeah, if you can, shoot us an email, shoot us a question, we'll answer that. boltbrospodcast@gmail.com. We'll love to chat with you there, and let's do this. As always, my name's Kyle, and I'm here with my bros James and Andy, and Bolt Bros. Let's get out of here.
Bolt Bros, we out. We out.
We out.
Bolt fam, we out. Oh yeah, no, we gotta do the Matthew McConaughey.
Yo, shoot.
Matthew McConaughey. Dude, I love that movie. That movie is like literally one of the best damn movies ever. I love that movie.